Brown, Billy White, Antoine Mason, and Cliff Clinkscales for the Lightning as they win the tip-off. Julian Boyd, Mo Bolden, Garrett Williamson, Doug Herring Jr., and Kirk Williams Jr. Ramel Brown, something we're very used to saying. Watson backs up Kirk Williams Jr. Brown under the net, and he finishes with the first basket of the game for either team.
And that's good for Halifax. Brown had a really slow start in Game 4, already on the board tonight.
Fans still on their feet here in the bud. Herring Jr. takes a three, and he nails it as they take a seat. Scales settles it down, kicks to Mason, over to White. White will step in. Throws down low to Watson, and Watson throws up the floater for an easy two.
Nice possession there from Halifax. Bolden did a great.
Clinkscales kicks to Watson. Watson driving, and he gets in under Williamson. 5 seconds to shoot. Williamson's got to make a decision here. He'll kick to Williams Jr., and he nails that three ball. And matchup there between the two big men. Williamson driving, floater, no good off the glass. Williamson gets his own ball, though, and puts it back away.
Great hustle there and a little showdown. Great shooting percentage of that team from below 10 to above 30.
And a loss there by Garrett Williamson as Clinkscales moves quickly. He leaves for Billy White with the big two-handed slam.
And here's a big difference between...
Top, and that ball, Mason collects it. He's open in the corner. No good. Ramel Brown with the easy rebound, though. And just, well, I'd say really the defense wasn't ready to defend anything there. Hurricanes with the lead, 10-8, 5:40 on the clock. Herring Jr. drives tough to the rim.
Beautiful, and the way he still finished the play off, it made it so White couldn't get that block.
Billy White working on Herring Jr. He feeds Watson down low, and Watson finishes the and one play as Williamson's going to pick up the first foul. There's that waiting for some movement. Boyd with the ball. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Herring Jr., he'll take the jumper off the glass, and what a finish there from Herring Jr. high off the glass. Williamson tips it back to center where Herring Jr. will control it. Williamson, jumper, no, oh my goodness.
Friendly roll.
And Herring Jr. once again directing traffic. Kyle Johnson on the floor now for the Lightning. Kicks it over to Williams Jr. Thinks three, does three. Williams Jr., my goodness. To Williamson, back out to Boyd. Down low to Kyle Johnson. He's going to try and back Clinkscales back up off the glass. And Johnson backs down, and that's Mike Leslie. Mike Poole as well is on the floor. Watson, floater, no good. Kirk Williams Jr. with the rebound, and Kirk Williams Jr. just with an ugly turnover there as Watson goes up and gets himself another and one. Zimmerman back to Billy White. That's Ramel Brown matched up against Mo Bolden. He's going to use that strength to drive Bolden back to the basket. Phenomenal move there. But yeah, we should, as Herring Jr. just hucks Zimmerman off him. Friesen Laddie, three ball good. And the Lightning have got that three ball going early. That's Herring Jr. on Ramel Brown. As the switch goes there, that's almost just as bad. Kyle Johnson on Ramel Brown just uses that size inside the elbow, no good. That's D'Alembert with the rebound. Kyle Johnson, quick three, and Kyle Johnson makes himself hurt early on
his resume. He's a dangerous player for this London Lightning team if he gets going.
Interesting to see them match up Billy White with Julian Boyd and then D'Alembert with Ramel Brown. You'd think they'd almost be able to go the other way.
Yeah, I'm a little...
Block, D'Alembert with the rebound though, kicks to Friesen Laddie. Has to watch his feet, but he gets control of it. 4 seconds, Friesen Laddie with a big three ball. Big do-it-yourself effort. Williamson trying to get past Reefer. Reefer tough on him. Reefer right in Williamson's pocket as he drives and he finishes. What an individual effort. Here, really one of the smallest we've seen in any of the 3 games so far in London. Mason drives, big block by D'Alembert though, but Boyd can't get out of the rebound as Billy White throws the two-handed slam down. Second one. Friesen Laddie makes a move around D'Alembert. He'll take the jumper and he'll finish that. I feel like it's really energized this Lightning team. The big is kind of the first guy down and the first man back up. And that's Mason with the open three, and he's not going to miss many of those. Williamson over to Boyd. Boyd with the three over Dixon, and Boyd with the big three ball.
Boyd shot 40%.
Williamson over to Friesen Laddie. He takes a 3-ball, and Friesen Laddie is on fire from the arc right now. As he drives, no good. Williamson with the rebound. He's pushing the pace right now. Drives all the way to the rim, and Williamson finishes. Watson kicks to Mason, out to Clinkscales. Watson, down low to Brown, wide open. Some great passing there. Gets the big open underneath the White. Boyd leaves it for Friesen Laddie. Boyd fakes the screen, sets back up. Boyd from 3.
Again, 40% in the season. You can't leave him that open.
And in general, we are just seeing some prolific shooting out of the Lightning, and maybe not this series, but these home games so far, as Mason takes the jumper from the arc. He nails that. Williamson slowing it down, throws to Bolden. Bolden loses it though, kicks it out to Friesen Laddie. Friesen Laddie driving in, easy lay in there from Friesen Laddie, blowing past Antoine Mason.
To turn that corner on Mason too.
Get your guy open with the pass, right? Watson
exactly.
Going hard in on Boyd, and he'll get it in off the glass, using that strength. Holds on to it. Clinkscales over to Billy White. Billy White driving to the basket, and he gets Bolden off him and finishes at the rim. Friesen Laddie.
Almost a great move by Williams Jr.
Boyd going in tough, can't finish, gets his rebound though, and he'll stay hard at the rim, and Julian Boyd. Jumper no good, as he ends up on his backside. Clinkscales quickly over to Mason. Oh, uncontested 3, and he nails it, as Mason gives Friesen.
Keep him calm, because Mason a vengeful shooter sometimes.
Herring Jr. driving, kicks to Bolden. Bolden for 3, and Bolden nails it.
London.
Bolden missed him, but Bolden, and a big block by Billy White. Great help defense there by White, and Mason all alone, and he nails that 3-ball.
Yeah.
I believe something like 12 of 13 shooting.
Bingo.
Billy White's gonna back Bolden up, kicks out to Clinkscales. Clinkscales nails the 3.
And I like how Billy White didn't.
Kyle Johnson kicks it to Julian Boyd, leaves it for Herring Jr. 5 seconds to shoot. Herring Jr. needs to make a decision. Jumper goes though. No good though, ball bounced around. That's Williams Jr. moving quickly. Kicks to Herring Jr. Herring Jr. outside to Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson, a big made 3.
You've got to reward quality minutes out of Friesen Laddie and Johnson.
Back to the second half, Brendan Jameson along with Chris Croucher and Tom Croucher at the breaks as Julian Boyd takes a big 3 to start the half.
Defense into that 24-second violation.
Boyd and Williamson playing some hot potato with the ball. Herring Jr. quick catch and release 3, and Herring Jr. and the Lightning are shooting the Jr. as they'll slow things down. He'll move some bodies. Boyd sets up the screen for him. Williamson to Boyd down Main Street. And Boyd gets the, oh my goodness.
I honestly think if that hadn't been a foul on Julian Boyd, that it was going to be a timeout from Halifax, just to try and slow things down.
Clinkscales inbounds and then switches to the 3.
Who else? Who else would come up with that answer when you're
no good? Billy White with the rebound. That's Clinkscales driving, pushing to Watson. Watson goes in, nice little over the head there.
Good
Finish
response.
From Tyrone. Down low to their bigs and earning every single point that they can. Billy White, he's gonna bounce Bolden back. Little spin off him. Great move by Billy White.
And that's one of the things Billy White's best at, his foot here.
Mason still talking with the ref, says he thought he lost possession between the block and regaining the ball. Williamson easy to the rim. Big one-handed finish by Williamson. Ramel Brown. Scales to Brown. Down low to Billy White. White's gonna try and back Boyd up towards the rim. Leaves it for Watson. Watson throws the floater up and in. 71-58. Junior. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Herring Jr.'s got to make a decision here. And Herring Jr. with a big 3 over top of the long Billy White. That's Watson. He's going to crash the lane. Throws that floater up again, and he's going hot right now.
Tough shot for Watson.
Oh, good. Brown with the rebound. Clinkscales pushes it up to White. White with the spin off of Williamson, and he finishes hard off the glass. Clinkscales on the exterior, no good. Billy White with a great rebound through Mo Bolden there. Tyrone Watson crashing towards the net, and he finishes. Lead has been cut down to 9, 5:14 on the clock. Bolden over to Johnson. Johnson steps up, takes a jumper from the free throw line, and Kyle Johnson with the answer bucket right there. And a great inbounds pass there. Antoine Mason under the net, and Clinkscale just being in the pocket of Cliff Clinkscale's big block by Yoanni D'Alembert, but Herring Jr. trying to save the ball. Tyrone Watson smart enough to collect it. Kicks to Boyd. Boyd down low to D'Alembert. D'Alembert outside to Herring Jr. Kyle Johnson in the corner, and he finishes.
Great action.
Billy White driving on D'Alembert, spins off him. Great move by Billy White. Quickly, he's going to reset. They've got time to shoot. Herring Jr. driving. Big finish there from Herring Jr. NBL Canada Finals. Tyrone Watson crashing down towards the rim, and Tyrone Watson keeps up his offensive pace.
Well, that's 20.
Down low to Bolden. Bolden, a rather ineffective night, hasn't seen the floor as much. Friesen Laddie gets the easy jumper. And that's what you like to see from players, getting their team into it. And he's going to turn the ball over there, though, unfortunately. Billy White with the pickoff pass. Reefer goes the other way and lays in the big two-handed slam. That's Reefer, who will kick it back to Cliff. Cool top of the arc. That's Reefer from three, and Reefer with the follow-through. Literally the only going right for the Lightning so far in this fourth quarter.
They're wondering who put that lid on the basket right now.
Watson, he's going to drive, and he finishes off the glass, and yeah, an easy. And Junior across the timeline. And Junior up to Boyd. Boyd from the top of the arc three. Julian Boyd with a big three. He's down. Down under 10 to shoot. Big two-handed slam from Bolden. What a feed from Boyd. Kyle Johnson open in the corner. He's going to step around it. Billy White with the turnover, though. Tyrone Watson all the way down the floor. He finishes off the glass. 5-point advantage for the Lightning. Williamson, and a great defensive play there from the Hurricanes as Herring Jr. all the time in the world to take that jumper. Cool again, top of the arc. Clinkscales trying to set up the offense. He's got to take the shot. Cliff Clinkscales with a big three over top of Kyle Johnson.
Provides that fifth threat for Halifax. It helps the offense click so much better.
Herring Jr., he drives. He's wide open. Herring Jr. with the big one-handed slam. And the London Public Library just turned into Barney's patio. Mike Leslie opting for Mike Poole for a much longer majority in this half than we've seen. Bolden from the corner. Bolden for three, and he knew it once he left his hands. 5 to shoot. Herring Jr.'s got to make a decision. He takes the jumper from the elbow off the glass and in. And Herring Jr. just doing it himself this game. Passing, scoring. And that's Watson crashing down. Boyd makes the smart play, doesn't foul, lets him have the easy basket. And that's Billy White from the corner. No good. Boyd with the rebound. And they're just going to kill the clock out on this game as the Lightning, they came home down 2. They're going to leave home up 1. These Lightning players, the resiliency of them to come back home and do their job. Never panicked, kept themselves ahead every single game, and good for them. The championship is going to be decided in Halifax as the